Hello, everyone, and welcome to Snap Take. This is Glazer of Snap Judgments, the official podcast of Marvel Snap Zone. Today, we're going to look at 3 winning decks. We've got viewer submitted buffs to cards. We've got a look at a bundle. We've got a look at Twitch drops. We've got the Peach Momoko shop. Let's go. But first, please hit that sub button, hit that like, hit that comment, ring that notification bell. Totally free to you. Helps us out. We bring you everything you could possibly need in Marvel Snap to get better at the game, to hit infinite, to get infinity borders, to climb into high infinite. 3 decks a day, all the news, all the shops, all the advice you could possibly need for Marvel Snap. Hit that sub button. We appreciate the support. Next up, today is the last day to enter our giveaway for our friend Father Newman. All you have to do is go over to his channel on YouTube, hit sub, and say happy birthday on the video that says Alioth makes marvelous salmon. Just by doing that, you'll be entered to win either a free season pass or a $10 gold bundle. If you already have the season pass, whichever you choose, the contest ends today. Winners will be announced tomorrow, so make sure you check that out. Our decks for today, the first one is from Cube Reaper, who's got quite a large sample size of success. We've also got your suggested buffs. We've got Min Nugent, that is our Vietnamese friend who is like a shaper of the meta, one of their meta leaders. He's got another Phoenix build. Phoenix is meta. It's so cool. We've got the Flerkin Adorable Bundle Review. I don't know what threats, excuse me, not threat, silly. Flerkin Threat Adorable Bundle Review. We've got Twitch drops. We've got a Safety Blade deck. Safety is the genius deck build in Marvel Snap Zone. And then we're going to look at my Peach Momoko shop and what I bought. That's a ton. Let's do this. First, we've got Cube Reaper Shuri. We looked at something similar to this, and some people like dominated with it, and some people didn't. This version of the deck has a significantly larger sample size. I think throwing Werewolf in the Werewolf by Night in the deck made it significantly more consistent. It's not getting to much more than a 7, 9, 11 with this deck, but an extra 7, 9, 11 power when you're putting a giant Red Skull out on the board or an Infinite is humongous. As an added bonus, because of the Shang nerf, there's less Shang-Chi than ever, so you're just straight up play of Shuri, Red Skull, Taskmaster has never been safer, but you also have other options here thanks to Black Knight, thanks to Werewolf. If you're going the Black Knight route, right, and you get Blade, Lady Sif both played, and then you're gonna get Taskmaster played, that's a 3/9 Werewolf right there. That's gonna end in a really big lane. Seems like that's pretty good. Same idea if you end up with a Ghost Rider play. So it's just very, very strong. And if you end up with a Shuri, now it's a 3/11. Cool. All right. Black Knight is needed, and Werewolf is the secret sauce, in my opinion, to making this deck consistent. Because when you don't see things in the right order, just sort of doing stuff with Werewolf out is a lot of power, and that extra power helps you win Marvel Snap games. This gained 11,000 rank. It went 118 and 77 for a 60.5% win rate in the sample that was shown to me by Cube Reaper. So this is on Twitter. You can check it out if you're curious. But that's that's okay. In High Infinite, this got to like rank 4,000. That's one, very high and like hard to hold that high of a win rate because that's like no bots, entirely really good players. 2, this is a large enough sample that this deck is legit. You just have to be patient with it. It's not going to work every game. Sometimes you're going to chong, sometimes you're going to lose cubes, but you can climb with it if you play well. Turn 1, generally speaking, Black Knight. Blade, much like Snowguard, is not a card, not Snowguard, much like Nico Minoru, is not a card that you like plan to use. It's a card used when the opportunity is right. Turn 2 is almost always Armor. Armor is extremely important. Turn 3, Sif or Blade, if Black Knight is out or Infinite is in the right spot. If not, you just get Werewolf down. At that point, you have a lot of options. If you played Lady Sif, maybe you want to Ghost Rider. Maybe you want to drop that Shard. Maybe you want to drop Shuri. Same thing on turn 5, Red Skull, Shard, Vision. And turn 6, Taskmaster or Ghost Rider are generally the play. It's a lot of options, right? Once again, you have a lot of ways to go with this deck. You're going to spend some time counting early. You need to start learning, in order to play this deck effectively, how much power an opponent can put out. So you know, it's turn 4. If I drop my shard now, do I need to drop Shuri first, or can I just drop that shard? Then do I want to Taskmaster that and then try and play like Ghost Rider? Or do I want to go Shuri Red Skull and just get 28 power in another lane, knowing that they're going to sort of abandon that shard lane? Maybe that shard lane closes early, for example. That you need to think and plan things through. If you do so, this deck is crazy, crazy, crazy powerful. Quick variant look. We've got one no variant card here. I need a Black Knight variant. There's a couple potential ones I want. The Peach Mocha one and the Dan Hip one aren't out yet. I'm holding out for them. The Max Freak is fine. I just don't love it, so I don't need it. And I didn't open spotlights for it, so I need a Black Knight. It's one of 10 cards left in all of Marvel Snap that I still need a variant for. We've got a lovely number of hips here. We've got our standard 4. We've got Blade, Lady Sif, Infinite, and Vision. Infinite and Vision are relatively new hips for me. They make me quite happy. We've got the Jacinto Ghost Rider. It's my favorite Ghost Rider. Lucha Taskmaster, and we love us some Lucha. Dave McKelvey's America Chavez. This great, great, great Black Panther Shuri. I have 3 great Shuris. This is my favorite of them. I think this is also the best armor. And the Werewolf Hip isn't out yet, so this is the best Werewolf that you can get, I think. So outside of that Black Knight Rune and things, this is at least a pretty. Next up, we're going to look at the buffs that viewers suggested yesterday. I presented 6 previous nerfs that I wanted to be reverted to their previous state. And I asked viewers what they thought. Check yesterday's video if you'd like to hear what my takes are. So I chose 10. Let's talk about them. First one is Kitty should go back to a 1/1. Elsa's been nerfed. That's why Kitty was nerfed. And Angela was nerfed, and that was Kitty's best combo. Kitty should be a 1/1. I think that's actually probably too conservative. I don't want Kitty to get +2 again. I think that was too much. But I think we're probably fine. Sorry about that. I pressed the wrong button. I think we're probably fine if Kitty goes back to a 1/2. I'm willing to risk it. I think bounce is fun enough that when it's not oppressive, it's worth messing with. Like there's bounce decks right now. The Darkhawk bounce that's so good doesn't even bother running Kitty. Like she should at least go in bounce decks, the deck she's made for. Rafael Sousa wants the Soul or Power Stone to draw Thanos, which I think is really cool. If the Power Stone just drew Thanos every time, I think that would be extremely powerful, extremely cool. Would it be overpowered? Probably. Very specific card tutor like that is extremely strong. It sort of like always gives you a turn 6 play. It always gives you like the opportunity for that 620, and I think that's probably too much. Does Thanos need it right now? Maybe, but Thanos is a deck that often ends up broken after a little while, so I'm not sure if it needs that. I'd rather, just what I said yesterday, the draw goes back on the Soul Stone. Ash Booth says that Enchantress should go back to a 4/6, and I think that's broken. I think 4/5 is the perfect landing spot. I think they nailed Enchantress and should probably leave the card alone. As a 4/6, it's too easy to play just as a tempo stats card. As a 4/5, you at least lose a little bit off that. Okay, I'm going to try and say this, please. Excuse me. Zephroziner or Zephroziner argues a return to the original Spider-Ham and a 1/2 Daredevil. I don't have anything against the 1/2 Daredevil. I'm totally fine with it. I think it'd be cool to just see how much more it gets played. I also like that it's in danger from Killmonger. Let's try it. I don't think we can go back to the original Spider-Ham because discard is a really healthy meta deck. And the original Spider-Ham basically kills classic Apocalypse discard. It's a really easy deck for players to target when they're in Series 3, too. All they really, really need are Dracula and MODOK, and as soon as they have those 2 cards, they have enough to play the deck that can get them to infinite, that can compete into reasonably high infinite, and Spider-Ham just saying, no, you can't do that is sad. So I think this Spider-Ham is better. It's worse, but better for the game. Miguel de Rosario apparently likes Lockdown and Thanos and wants Wave to go back to just the base lock everything at 4 and the OG Spider-Man. I definitely don't want the OG Spider-Man back. The new Spider-Man is too fun. I wouldn't be complete. So the problem with Spider-Man is it's not locking both lanes. If Spider-Man locked both lanes, I could sort of see a return to like another card giving that effect. But that being asymmetrical means it's too easy to break. Um, I don't know. I feel like the meta is healthy enough with the 3/5 wave that I don't need the 3/3 wave back. I think the problem is kind of that Loki abuses the card dump thing. I don't think anything else really is. There's lots of big stuff decks that can compete, and there's lots of small stuff decks that compete, which means that I don't think we super duper need Wave to change right now. I like the Wave makes everything for thing, so I'm not against it, but I don't know if I'm for it either. Richie Game wants Old Arrow. Old Arrow used to pull every card you played on the last turn. Uh, that's not as bad as like other things because so many decks like fill boards and fill locations now, whereas they didn't before. But that does kill big deck strategies. I don't think they want to do that. I think they want to push big deck strategies. A couple cards coming next month are big deck strategies. The card coming next week, Annihilus, is a big deck strategy, or at least a big card strategy. And I don't think they really, really want to blow that with Arrow pulling everything to one spot. But I don't think it's as bad as it was, and I'd be willing to like try it for at least a little bit. Isaiah Cranfield set wants elected to kill 2 cost cards. So I love this for the end game where I live, where I'm playing. I think that would be absolutely amazing. I am worried about how that would affect Series 1 and Series 2, however. I think we have to keep that in mind, although I do think that there has to be a way to like fast forward Series 1, 2, and even 3 for the long-term health of the game. I think that this is a long-term change I'd like to see, if not right now. Our friend Min, who's the architect of the next deck we're going to talk about, has the 4 changes, and I want them all. Legion to a 5/8, just so it competes with Vision. Seems good to me. Heimdall to a 6/9. Again, great with the Shang change. Giving Heimdall the extra power is good. It's not like Heimdall is a meta card late in the game. Let's see if we can push him up a little bit. Arrow and 2099. Arrow gets the 4 and loses a power, and 2099 gains a power, becoming a 4/7. I think both of those are also great. I think 2099 is very close to a really great card right now that just doesn't see a lot of play. It's that he doesn't have any way to move himself under his own power that really holds him back, and there's just not quite enough ways to target move in Marvel Snap. So I don't know. I think a 4/7 would really help. Um, Honestly, I think he kind of needs to be a 4/8 because because Doctor Strange is really good right now. Is fundamentally my logic, right? So if you move Vulture once, you want to be able to move Arrow and 2099 the next time using Doctor Strange, and not being able to do that is frustrating. I think that would be an actual like really positive change. Um, Arrow as a 4/6 or 4/7, I completely love. With the current text, I think that's great. I think they should absolutely try that. That and Captain Marvel as a 4 or 5, I think are like no-brainer changes. Janik wants Alioth to work if you're winning, and if not, be a 6/7. And straight up, I like that play, except that it's too complicated, and we don't need like 18 lines of set text. This isn't Yu-Gi-Oh! I've never played Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm literally repeating a meme I've heard on Twitter. Sorry, but like, I just think it's too complicated. We don't want Alioth to be that complicated. Also, as a 6/3, I just kind of think he's balanced. Like, I think he's a good card, probably still the best 6, but not as oppressive because so many things can just beat him. And Talisman, excuse me if I'm saying that wrong again, wants to revert everything. Wants the original Surfer, wants the original Zabu, wants the original Leader. Everything. Okay. I think that would be like crazy fun, and I'm down for it for like a week, but pretty quickly we just figure out what's completely broken again, and everyone just play that. Um, my guess is Core Zabu, by the way, just for the record. But like we can't do that. I wish they would do it for like a week though. I think it would be like crazy fun if they were like, for a week we're doing this. I don't know if it's worth the coding and programming. Thanks for your suggestions. We'll do another thing that's sort of like this later on today. Keep watching. We've got our Min deck. It is called Move Your Mom. It's called Move Your Mom in Vietnamese, but I decided to translate. All right. This is obviously a Phoenix Force deck. So also worth noting that after a few more games than the sample we looked at here, Forge became America Chavez for consistency reasons, just because you really, really want to see certain pieces early. Those pieces being Human Torch, Multiple Man, and obviously Destroy cards in Phoenix Force. And look, I'm going to tell you guys straight up, I would probably run Deathlock for Nico because I hate not having that third guaranteed kill. I want a way to make the thing that I need to be dead, and I hate missing it. Um, Legion here is completely freaking brilliant because your move cards get reasonably big early, right? Um, if you can drop multiple man, and then you can drop Storm, right? Like multiple men, Storm, Legion, or like sorry, on three, on two multiple men, right? Sorry, let's do this again. On two, you play multiple men. On three, you play Hulkbuster on multiple men. On four, you play Ghost Spider to move the 8 power elsewhere. Then you play Storm as well in one of those locations, in a different location. Then you Legion that Storm location and say, good luck, right? People don't really play around that anymore, and it's crazy strong. At that point, cards like Cloak are also crazy strong. Um, Nico or Forge could give you a real advantage. You also obviously can just kill Human Torch or multiple men and move them all around the board and make them extremely strong. Um, then you got Force and Legion as needed cards. You can't play this version of the deck without those two. Um, Ghost Spider can be Iron Fist or Doctor Strange. The same can be true for Nico. I really like Doctor Strange. You lose that play I told you earlier with the Ghost Spider pulling over the Hulk Bustered card, but it's powerful enough that I don't think that's like the worst thing in the world either way. Those either of those cards could also replace Nico, by the way. Okay. This is again from Min. The Venus community is so good. So you start with Torch, and you're just basically playing move cards to get big at this point. So like it'd be Torch, and then you're gonna like you'll see all the or move card get big. That's just saying like do whatever you need to get move cards big, right? Because if you got your Torch to like 12 power and win, you can like guarantee a lane with Torch. Then then if you can figure out how to do the Storm Legion play, you've won the game. The game is over. Congratulations. Um, the other play is Torch or Multiple Man, eat them, Phoenix Force, move them a bunch, and then Legion, whatever is your biggest benefit. That will win the game of Marvel Snap 2. This is not a deck where you want Torch to be your target, your main target. Torch is fine, but you really want to move Multiple Man because that's how you win multiple lanes. Cool. All right. Our variants for the day. We've got two hips, bad day. We've got our double Jacinto for Venom and Carnage. We've got our Midnight Suns for Nico, our cool gold storm that they gave us. Greek Cloak. I run the 1602 Cloak when I'm running Dagger also, but since I'm not. Sports Multiple Man is fine. I really do like this Hulkbuster. This is my favorite Human Torch. That's why I wanted that Shang-Chi, not this Torch. I got this new X-Force Forge. I like it way better than Mechanic Forge, which I've been running forever, so I'm happy to have a different Forge. And I bought the amazing Ghost Spider at the last Peach Momoko takeover, and I will be rocking that for quite a long time because I think this is fantastic art for the card. Next up, we have the Flerkin Species Flerkin Threat Adorable Bundle. It is $35 for 6,000 credits. You can see I did not buy this. You know why I didn't buy it? Because this is an absolutely bad deal, I think, unless you're really early into Series 3. Um, 6,000 credits is basically one spotlight cash. If you're getting a bunch of Series 3 cards along with that, then there's some value. If you have like no Series 4 and 5 cards, there's some value because every spotlight cash represents, or spotlight key, I guess technically, represents a new card. If you don't have Goose and Nick Fury and you're in Series 3, you still have to open those cards, but there's extra value if you want to play them. I don't think you super do, but you could. Also, Goose is adorable. Um, all of that said, this is generally a bad deal. When they ask us to spend money in Marvel Snap, they usually give us stuff that's fairly ahead of rate, and this is only mildly ahead of rate. So if you're planning on spending money and that money is limited, save that money. Oh, also, I have a Hip Goose and a Hip Nick Fury, so I am extra all out on this. As much as I love the Orange Kitty, I have an Orange Kitty. Don't buy this bundle. If you would like some more breakdown with some more numbers attached to this, Savage Yeti Gaming. Savage Yeti Gaming is my friend who breaks down every single bundle on YouTube. You can just type in Savage Yeti Gaming and you'll get his math on it. He's my go-to. I also check out Wolverthor, who's over at Wolversnap, and Carolus, who writes on Marvel Snap Zone about all these bundles. And I sort of synthesize all their information to determine um, which recommendation to give. But no one's got this as like anything really worthwhile. So I strongly urge you to not grab it if you can avoid it. Next up, we have Trip Tops. All this info is from Marvel Snap Zone, my employer. Hey, Terrence. Uh, you've got free in-game awards that can be earned in Marvel Snap by watching selected Twitch streams via Twitch Drops. You have to link your Marvel Snap account to Twitch to get set to go. You link it by going to marvelsnap.com/Twitch Drops, assuming you have a Twitch. If not, make a Twitch, then do that. Then watch Twitch streams in the Marvel Snap category. Comment your favorite streamer today. That's what we're doing. That's just a me thing. Tell me who your favorite streamer over on Twitch is. I mean, I can list like 50, right? Like I'm friends with a lot of different content creators. Later on today, Snap Judgments podcast will be out. It's with Den and the aforementioned Savage Yeti. Last week we had D Money and Z, who were both doing marathon streams yesterday. We had Call Me Sal on with It's Guest Gaming. Like we know like all the creators. We're friends with a lot of them. Who are some of your favorites? Let me know in the comments. Maybe we'll talk about like, I don't know, a few favorites and what we think of their content and what's cool about them on tomorrow's video as some of our between stuff. Cool. All right. You have if you're having trouble finding Twitch stream, if you don't know anybody, I just said like 5 people. I can give you some more. Ask in the comments. Tell me what kind of thing you like, what kind of vibe you're looking for, and I'll happily recommend you somebody. But if not, the Twitch directory twitch.tv/directory/category Marvel-Snap, it will just give you everything in the category. Over the next 6 days until I want to say the 22nd of November, next Wednesday, 2 hours to get the Peach Moko Punisher avatar. 4 hours for 155 Punisher boosters. Rumor has it that those boosters are random. I only got the first one so far, so I can't tell you for sure. And 300 credits. 6 hours to earn a Peach Moko Punisher variant. Cool. So 300 credits, a cool variant just for watching a stream. Straight up, I spend a lot of my day when I'm not at work, even if I'm doing other things, hanging out with my son. I make sure I'm trying to support the community. I leave streams on in the background. So I'm going to get this relatively soon. And then once you do it, you hit claim on Twitch. You'll get like a notification. You hit claim on Twitch, and then it's just going to appear in your inbox in game, and you can click claim there too. I'll tell you straight up, the first one I got, I watched Fiona Shade stories for a little while. Then I hung out with Z and D Money for a little while, and then I got hooked on a Lambie game. Lambie was playing some Conquest, and I watched Lambie for the rest of it. So that's how I got my first one. Again, let me know how you're doing this, and we'll go from there. Last deck of the daytime. Our friend Safety has a Lokiator. This is Loki Gladiator. I'm gonna tell you straight up right now, because I'm gonna re-review this on Friday and then again on Monday. As of right now, I think Gladiator is bad. And like you're gonna go, no card is bad. This card definitely has its uses. Right. We just had a major Marvel Snap tournament this weekend, and something like 81% of the games in Marvel Snap were played. It is a playable card. Almost every card in Marvel Snap is playable. Cool. Thanks. Is this like good enough to actually see play at a real rate? I don't think so. I think that the fact that it grabs a random card is too bad. There's too many cards that like I've seen it hit and it's hitting Korg and Rock Slide, and like your opponent's just happy it didn't have to waste energy playing a below rate card. You did it for them. I've seen it hit Mirage and it's just like, cool, thank you. I've seen it hit Black Widow. It hits America Chavez like 80% of the time, it feels like. Once in a while it's game winning, but since you can't control that, I don't think this card is very good. So Safety, our genius deck builder friend, made a deck that's basically about milling your opponent's cards. It's about screwing up their draw and going over the top. And then you have Loki, so once you've like ruined their deck, you get to take their deck for cheaper and beat them with it. It's mean. The whole purpose of this deck is just to be as annoying as possible. Spider-Ham fundamentally removes a card from their hand. Yondu removes a card from their deck, as does Cable, as does Gladiator, hopefully filling in the process. While Black Widow says you don't get a card, Mirage says you get their card but better, and then you could do all these things over and over again because of Beast and Falcon. Hopefully, as you're doing this, you're growing Werewolf, and if you can, just take their cards and play them for cheaper because Loki is like insane. This deck is designed specifically to be as annoying as possible. Is it good? I don't know. Safety climbed to top 200 with it, but Safety is brilliant at Marvel Snap, so like it's hard to say. Um, It's worth screwing with, right? Spider Ham can be Iceman. Nico can be Agent 13. Mirage can be Sentinel. I don't think I'd play this without Werewolf. And note that every change makes this deck slightly less annoying and defeats the purpose a little bit. Gladiator is firmly mid, and even in this deck can either be Cosmo or Coulson. If you're trying to be annoying, Cosmo is the right answer. Finally, this is ranked top 200, but it's safety, and he's broken. So, turn 1, Yondu is your plan. I'd like to wait a little bit to Spider Ham if possible, so they play the cheaper cards. And then Forge is the third play. I want to save Forge where possible to play with Gladiator. A 9-power Gladiator is way better than a 9-power, is way better than a 2-power pump to anything else. You do have ways to multi-use Forge, though. Remember that Nico is sort of wherever you can fit her. You want to destroy things to draw 2 cards, make a demon, or give a card plus 2 power with this deck, generally speaking. Turn 2, Widow is generally better than Mirage, but you also have all the other ones you can play. Turn 3, my priority is basically always Werewolf. You can also play Falcon and Forge, and if you play Forge, you're looking to play Gladiator. If you want to win the game, turn 4, you're playing Loki. You can also drop Beast and 1 to do further melee nonsense, or you can drop Gladiator, hopefully with a Forge pump, and a 1. Turn 5, bounce what you can, and turn 6, replay what you can. That's the play pattern. Finally, what we have is a decent number of hips in this deck. We've got Spider Ham hip, Yondu hip, Falcon hip, brand new, love to see it. Beast hip. I don't have Gladiator hip, there's a shop takeover. Should be in my shop tomorrow. If it is, I'll buy it. I guess technically there's 11 cards I don't have variants for because I don't have Gladiator. We've got the cool Peach Black Widow because it's Peach Momoko Day, so I had to throw her in this. I also have a hip Widow that I often use. This is my favorite Mirage. It feels just like 90s X-Men. Midnight Suns Nico. Forge we talked about. Werewolf we talked about. Kid Cable is a terrible character, but the art here is gorgeous. And I still think this is the best Loki, even if the Rainbow Brooklyn Bridge one is growing on me. My shop for today was the Peach Momoko Takeover. I didn't buy the null because I have a Spotlight null. Who doesn't have a Spotlight null at this point? The Surfer is gorgeous, but I have this other Surfer. It's black and white. It's super great. I want to gold it, but like I also want to keep it black and white, so it's really hard. The Surfer is one of my 5 to 10 favorite variants in the game, so no need to change. I have 2 awesome Doctor Strange. I have the Midnight Suns Doctor Strange, and I have the Kid Doctor Strange, both of which I really like. But the Peach Momoko Strange was too good, so I had to buy it. Um, I think my single favorite variant in the game is this Chris Samney Captain America. It's got like a grainy background, like it's through old film. It's so good. So I'm never buying another Captain America. Sorry. I'm not buying Namor. Namor's unplayable. I have Hip for Iron Man. I bought the Daredevil because like, that Daredevil is immediately one of my 10 favorite variants in the game. It is unbelievably gorgeous. And I decided to grab another Shang because I've got my Art Adam Shang in gold, and this one has like a really cool dragon in the background. So why not like upgrade a new Shang-Chi and see what kind of cool splits I can get on that? Like Shang is amazing, and they shouldn't have nerfed him, but even if they did, he's still amazing. Shang is one of the best cards in Snap. All right, that's today. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back tomorrow with some brand new badass decks. Don't forget to hit that sub button, hit that like button, hit that comment button. If you made it this far, you might as well. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow for another Snap Take.